Marcus Wellington had everything money could buy. His waterfront estate stretched across 5 acres of pristine coastline. His company employed thousands, but none of it mattered anymore. His son, 8-year-old Owen, had been born profoundly deaf. Marcus had tried everything. The finest specialists from Boston to Switzerland had examined Owen, experimental treatments, cutting-edge technology. Nothing worked. The boy lived in permanent silence, communicating through sign language that Marcus still struggled to master after all these years. It weighed on him every single day. That autumn morning, Marcus stood on his office balcony, watching Owen play by the water's edge below. The boy wore his favorite colorful shirt, bright blues and yellows with bold patterns. Owen loved vibrant things he could see, since he couldn't hear the world around him. Marcus's assistant knocked gently. "Mr. Wellington, there's someone here to see you. She doesn't have an appointment, but she's quite insistent." "Not today, Patricia." "Sir, she says she can help Owen." Marcus turned sharply. How many charlatans had promised miracles? How many had taken his hope and money, offering nothing in return? "Send her away." "Sir, she's not asking for money. She just wants 5 minutes." Something in Patricia's voice made Marcus pause. In 20 years, his assistant had never pushed back like this. "Fine, 5 minutes." The woman who entered was perhaps in her mid-30s, wearing worn but clean clothes, a purple long-sleeved shirt under a beige vest that had seen better days. Her dark hair was pulled back, and her hands bore the calluses of hard work. She carried a small cloth bag. "Mr. Wellington, my name is Amara. I work at the Marine Research Station down the coast. I've been studying something for 3 years now, and I believe it might help your son." Marcus crossed his arms. "I've heard every promise there is." "I'm not promising anything," Amara said quietly. "But I'd like to try if you'll let me." There was something different about her. No sales pitch, no elaborate claims, just simple honesty in her eyes. "What's in the bag?" "Something I discovered in deep water caves. A species we'd never documented before." She met his gaze steadily. "Mr. Wellington, I know how this sounds, but I've spent 3 years researching these creatures, and I've observed something extraordinary about their biochemistry." Marcus wanted to dismiss her, but something stopped him. Maybe it was the quiet way she spoke. Maybe it was the exhaustion in her own eyes, the look of someone who'd worked late, into countless nights, driven by something other than profit. "What exactly are you proposing?" "Let me show, Owen. Let me try. If nothing happens, I'll leave and never bother you again." Marcus looked out at his son, still playing alone by the water. "One chance," he said finally. They walked down to the beach together. Owen saw them coming and waved enthusiastically at his father. He was a beautiful child, bright blue eyes, full of curiosity, a dusting of freckles across his nose. When he smiled, it lit up everything around him. Marcus signed to Owen, introducing Amara. The boys studied her with that careful attention. Deaf children develop, reading everything from facial expressions and body language. Amara knelt beside Owen, moving slowly so she wouldn't startle him. She opened her cloth bag carefully and drew out a small container of water. Inside was something Marcus had never seen before. A small creature, dark and segmented, almost like a centipede, but clearly aquatic. It moved with an otherworldly grace. Owen's eyes went wide with fascination. Amara signed to Owen, perfectly, fluently. Marcus felt a pang of shame at his own clumsy attempts. She explained that this was a very special creature from deep in the ocean, that it was harmless, that she wanted to show him something amazing. Owen nodded eagerly. Amara lifted the creature carefully from the water. It coiled gently in her palm, and she brought it close to Owen's ear, not touching, just near. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Owen's eyes changed. They went from curious to startled to absolutely stunned. His mouth opened in a perfect O of shock. "Dad?" The word was barely a whisper, rough and unpracticed. But it was a word. Marcus felt the world tilt beneath him. "Owen?" His voice cracked. "Dad, I can hear you." Tears streamed down Owen's face. "I can hear the ocean, the birds, everything." Marcus dropped to his knees, pulling his son into his arms, both of them crying. Behind them, Amara stepped back quietly, giving them space. Later, after the initial shock had faded into wonder, they sat together on the beach. Owen kept touching his ears, amazed by every sound. The crunch of sand, the distant horn of a boat, his own laughter. "How?" Marcus asked Amara. How is this possible? The creature produces a compound we're still studying, Amara explained. It seems to temporarily stimulate auditory nerves in a way we don't fully understand yet. The effect lasts for several hours, sometimes longer. Temporarily? Yes, but Mr. Wellington, this is just the beginning. With proper research, with funding and time, we might be able to develop something permanent, or at least renewable. She paused. I've been trying to get grants for 3 years. No one takes me seriously. A marine biologist claiming to have found a cure for deafness? It sounds like science fiction. Marcus watched Owen chase waves, hearing them for the first time in his life. What do you need? A real lab, equipment, time, support from the scientific community? You'll have it all. Marcus turned to her. Whatever you need, not just for Owen, for every child like him. Amara's eyes filled with tears. Thank you. The months that followed were transformative. Marcus funded Amara's research completely, setting her up with a state-of-the-art laboratory. She assembled a team of brilliant scientists. Slowly, carefully, they began to understand the creature's properties. Owen received treatments 3 times a week. Each time he could hear for longer periods. His speech improved rapidly. He was a bright child, eager to learn. But something else happened, too. Marcus learned sign language properly. Because on the days when the treatment wore off and Owen returned to silence, Marcus wanted his son to know he was fully loved and fully heard, no matter what. Amara became part of their lives. She joined them for dinners, taught Owen about marine biology, shared stories of her own childhood in foster care and the teacher, who'd encouraged her love of science. One evening, as they watched the sunset together, Owen between them, Marcus said quietly, "You gave me my son's voice, but you gave me something more important. You reminded me that love isn't about fixing people. It's about accepting them and working to make their world better." Amara smiled. Owen was never broken. Mr. Wellington, he just needed someone to listen differently. Marcus nodded, signing the words so Owen could see them too. His son smiled and signed back, "I love you, Dad." And Marcus realized that he'd been hearing that message all along. He'd just needed to learn how to listen. Years later, when Amara's research led to breakthrough treatments, helping thousands of deaf children worldwide, reporters would ask her about that first meeting with Marcus Wellington. She'd always smile and say the same thing. Sometimes the most powerful force isn't science or money. It's a parent's love meeting someone else's dedication. That's when impossible things become real. And in every interview, in every photograph, Amara wore the same worn beige vest, a reminder of where she'd started and how far compassion and determination could carry you.